Derrell Peel, our livestock marketing specialist, joins us now. And Derrell, the USDA released some cattle reports, and one of those was the elusive mid-year cattle report. Talk a little bit about that.
Well, the mid-year cattle inventory report, we got it again this year. We didn't get it last year. We've gotten it 3 out of the last 5 years. So that makes it a little harder to interpret when you don't get a consistent data series there. But it seems to confirm what we've been expecting all along, that we're continuing to add to the cattle herd, broadly speaking, and specifically to the beef cow herd. If you look at that beef cow inventory estimate in this report and compare the July estimate to the previous January estimate, compared to what it has done historically, the ratio of those two time periods would suggest that we are still adding cows to the cow herd here in 2017.
What's some of the highlights that were in that report?
Well, beyond that, there's also a beef replacement heifer estimate. It's a little harder to interpret without a year-over-year comparison, but it would seem to suggest maybe that we're not saving as many heifers. There's some other data that kind of confirms that. Probably the most important and most readily usable number out of this report is the calf crop estimate for 2017. We do know what the 2016 calf crop was, so year over year, the calf crop was up 3.5%, which exactly matches the amount that the beef cow herd increased in 2016. So it all kind of goes together. It makes some sense. It means we've got more calves here in 2017. Feeder supplies are going to continue to be large through 2017 and on into 2018 for sure.
Moving to the monthly cattle on feed report, there was some news there. Talk a little bit about that.
Well, there was a fairly big surprise in this month's cattle on feed report. The placement number for June came in at 116% of last year. Trade was only expecting about 106%. And so that was a fair shock to the market, and the market has reacted pretty negatively to that following the report. If you look at, kind of what was going on there, the weight breakdown would confirm that most of that increase in placements was in lightweight cattle. And I think the explanation is pretty simple. Feedlots have made a lot of money in the last 3 months or so. They're very good about spending those profits on feeder cattle. And so they placed all the big cattle we were expecting them to place, and then they reached down into these lighter weight feeders and placed a bunch of them as well. So, it probably doesn't have terribly big implications for the rest of the year, but it scares the trade when you see those kind of big numbers come in suddenly.
So let's take a step back and just kind of look at like the big picture. What are these reports have, what's the impact that these reports will have on the markets for the next year?
I really don't think these reports fundamentally change my view of the market. We know that in general we're in a large and growing supply scenario. We've kind of confirmed that with the inventory report with a bigger calf crop. So feeder supplies are going to be big in 2017 on into 2018. That means that beef production is going to continue to grow on into 2019. We've been expecting that, and this really is just a confirmation of that, if anything. And even more short term, feeder and fed cattle markets have been very strong so far this year. And, I don't think we've really changed anything there. It hinges a lot for the rest of the year and on into next year what demand does. Demand has been very strong and has made these markets, allowed them to be bigger even with some supply pressure. And as long as that doesn't change, then we're in good shape.
All right, thanks a lot, Derrell. We'll see you next time.